This video will walk you through the different ways that you can view information in the People of Medieval Scotland database. The database organises all of its information into different types of profiles. The main types are a person or institution's profile, a document profile, a transaction profile, a place profile, or a map profile. This video will show examples of each. Searching the PoMS database via the basic search or the browse search will reveal a list of results, like this example of a basic search for King William. Clicking on one of the results will show you a preview box. You can then click here to show the full record. Here is an example of a person's profile, in this case the profile page of King William the Lion. At the top is a map of William's witnessing activity in the database. The green dots show the place dates of documents in which William is listed as a witness. The red dots show the actual places concerned in the transactions he witnessed. However, remember that only some documents in this period have place dates, and only some lands which are mentioned in documents are known places today, so this map is a partial representation of the person's witnessing activity. Below the map is a short biography, followed by information about William's appearance in the database, such as the dates that he is active in the documents in the database, known as his florowits, and information about his seal. You can click on this to find a description of his seal matrix. The Gephi visualizations take you to the social network analysis part of the database. To find out more about this, click on the Social Network Analysis tab. At the bottom of William's profile page are all of the factoids associated with him in the entire database. In total, there are 4,119. These factoids are then organised under different headings. Transaction factoids are all those in which King William was involved in a particular transaction, such as a gift of land or a confirmation. Relationship factoids shows every instance when William was linked explicitly to somebody else. Title factoids give every example of William being given a title in the documents, usually always as King or King of Scots. Possession factoids show every time he is specifically said to be the holder of particular property. Pro anima factoids give every occasion where William has been mentioned in that particular clause by anyone who wished that the beneficiary pray for the soul of King William. And finally, witnesses factoids gives every time William was himself a witness to a transaction. An institution has exactly the same profile as a person. For example, here's the profile of Glasgow Cathedral. Like King William's, there's some basic information at the top, and all of the cathedral's factoids are organised at the bottom. Another common type of profile is that for a specific source or document. Each source in PoMS has a specific 3-digit reference, known as a Hammond number or H number. More information can be found about this numbering system under the Information tab. Let's look at the example of the document with H number 1/7/39. This is a charter of King Alexander II, confirming Sir de Quincey's gift of a church to the Hospital of Brackley. Clicking on the result shows us a preview box, and from there we can click to show the full record. At the top of a document's profile page in PoMS, you can see the H number and a short publication reference. This reference explains where the information for the document has been extracted from. If the document has a place date, this will be shown as a red dot on the map. Below the map is some information about the document, including a summary of it, notes about the date, where it's published, and whether it survives as an original. At the bottom of the document's profile page are all the factoids extracted from this document. In this case, there are 10 factoids in total. These are then divided into subheadings. The first subheading shows the transaction factoids, That is, all the transactions or actions mentioned in the document. Documents can have one transaction, for example, a simple gift of property, or they can have multiple transactions, as in this example where the text is a confirmation of a gift. Therefore, two transactions are mentioned: the original donation of the church by Sir de Quincey and the confirmation of it by King Alexander II. The confirmation is the primary transaction, as that's the main purpose of this document. The original gift is the secondary transaction, as it's mentioned in passing but is not the primary focus of the document. As you can see, the date and witnesses are associated with the primary transaction, not the secondary. In other words, these pieces of information go with Alexander's confirmation, not with Sir de Quincey's original donation. The other factoids extracted from the document are divided into subheadings, such as relationships and titles. Transactions also have their own individual profiles. Let's go back to the example of Alexander II's confirmation. When you click on the transaction, you'll see a preview box. You can then click to show the full record. Here is an example of a transaction profile. Details about the transaction are given at the top, such as what document this transaction is from, its dating information, and any features included in the transaction, such as a secret clause. At the bottom of the profile are a list of the people associated with the transaction, and then the witnesses, who are listed in the order they appear, and with their names in the original language of the document, as well as in translation. From here, you can then easily click on a witness to see their full profile, and investigate the other contexts in which they occur within the database under their transaction factoids. Here is another example of a document, this time one that does not contain a place date, and only contains one primary transaction. Let's look at the transaction profile. This transaction profile has a map with blue dots showing the location of the places mentioned in the transaction. Below this is lots of information about the nature of the gift. For example, how the land is to be held, what exemptions they are given, what the render is, whether a perambulation is mentioned, and who the spiritual benefits are for. The factoids at the bottom have been split into associated people, witnesses, as well as groups for the different types of possession mentioned in the text. Places are also given their own profiles in PoMS, which collect together all of the information about them in the database. For example, let's look at the profile of Stobo. As well as a map, its profile shows the people associated with Stobo, the documents dated there, the transactions concerning Stobo, and examples of when Stobo is said to be possessed by someone. Finally are the map profiles. A map profile can be displayed from any results found through the browse search. Searching by people and institutions will map the places associated with any person or institution that match your search results. Searching by sources will map any place dates of documents in your results. Searching by places will map any places related to your search. And searching by factoid will map any places mentioned in the factoid, such as a place that's mentioned in a transaction. For example, let's look for people with the forename Gilbert. On the Browse tab, make sure you're searching by people and institutions. Click on More under the Forename subheading, and then find the name Gilbert. The results are given as a list. Below the Matching Records heading, you will see the words Show Mappable Results. Clicking on this reveals a map of all the information that can be plotted on an exact location. In this case, because we're searching by people and institutions, each icon represents a person in the database called Gilbert, who can be associated with a known place. Note that not all results will be explicitly associated with a place, and that the location of some places mentioned in PoMS are no longer known and so can't be precisely plotted. If you click on an icon, you can see details about the person. In this case, he is Gilbert, Steward of Urquhart. Clicking on his name will take you directly to his profile page. Here is an example of searching by sources, in this case for all of the agreements in the database. The red dots show you the place dates of those agreements which include one. Here is another example, this time searching by factoids for cases where the beneficiary was holding for homage and service. The search has then been refined to include only those examples which were also held for a fraction of a night's service. The map shows the places which were held for both conditions. So, to recap, PoMS comprises a number of different types of profile which bring together the information in the database about a person, institution, document, transaction, or place. Once you've found the results you want from searching the database, you can click on any profile to see the full record. For more videos, or to download a database tutorial, go to the Help tab.